Hello and welcome to all our listeners and viewers. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Phil Sharkey. I'm the president of my company, The Higher Authority, and a great pleasure to speak with Laura Holt today. Laura is the founder and CEO of WealthTech Matchmaker. I really like that name, Laura. So welcome to the show. I'm so glad you could take a moment to speak with us today. Laura, I did read your bio a little bit. I found it very interesting, and especially as I come across in my networking, so many people involved in the financial advising field. And I know your services, you sort of bring those advisor and financial service firms, you sort of match their needs to the right software for themselves and their clients. So, in a better way, tell me exactly what do you guys do there at Wealth Tech Matchmaker? What's the gist of the work you handle?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll back up even a little bit further as to why I'm doing this. So I started in the financial services industry in 1999 as an advisor at Morgan Stanley. Very attracted to this industry because whether we like it or not, money creates opportunities and experiences in our lives. And so I worked in financial services my entire life. Prior to founding Wealth Tech Matchmaker, I was at Goldman Sachs, United Capital, working on the FinLife project, bringing behavioral finance into the planning process, how we feel and think about money, and loved it. Absolutely. But every time I sat down with an advisor, they would say, "This is a really great tool, but I have so much technology, I don't even know what to do with it." And
Right.
thus founded Wealth Tech Matchmaker. So what I do is I work as an unbiased party, understanding the role of an advisor, working in the industry for so long in so many different roles, and do the due diligence that firms advisors don't have time to do. And when technology changes, I feel it's needed to have this unbiased advocate on your side.
It's so true, Laura. And again, in this field, which is so expansive, it sounds like a very particular skill set that you have. And I love your quote again about the like it or not, money creates opportunity and experiences in our life. And I have met so many financial experts and certified financial planners, but to sort of match their skill set and their time, right? Time is money, and
Yeah.
to best utilize their services for their clients, right?
Absolutely. And where they are in their business process. So I work with firms that are breakaways, 1 and 2 person offices. My largest firm has 1,000 advisors, and I serve a different role in each business stage. So at the beginning, your money's precious, and how do we allocate that most importantly with larger firms? Then I can help with things like RFPs, with understanding the landscape, with project management. But it's interesting that what I see in smaller firms and larger firms is the same themes. There's
Interesting.
big themes that I see. Number one is increasing advisor efficiency, which you said. No advisor got into this business because they love to do paperwork. They got into it for interaction. And so how do we get advisors doing what they do best, which is human to human interaction? It is including the voice of the prospect and customer into our client experience. So I do a lot of work on client experience, and it's proactive planning. It's, in the old days, a client calls you, they have a problem, and we solve it. But clients are expecting us to be more proactive. And with AI and data and everything out there, we can use this information to help prepare clients for their blind spots, what they don't see coming.
Yeah, Laura, a lot that you touched on there really speaks to me and et cetera, with your ability, your amazing experience that you have and to be identify what each client needs. Is there a particular client that works well? As you mentioned, a wide scheme from it looks like, 1 or 2 person operation to a larger one. Is there one you prefer to work with, or can you work on all those formats just as easily?
Adjust all formats just as easily. I would say the one theme is a growing firm. Somebody who's wanting to get from step A to step B is where I help the most, and being that partner that can guide them versus talking to a salesperson who's going to sell them one shiny object.
Absolutely. Laura, is there one area that you see most requested of you? Is there one thing you see these financial experts in need of, or can it be so many different aspects of your service?
Yeah, people come, it's always just like a client. A client will come with one question and then you get down to like, okay, what do you really want? And so a lot of my conversations start with AI. Like everybody's talking about AI. We all understand it in a kind of big picture kind of way. We don't necessarily know like how to get started. And so that's one thing I'll talk about. And that kind of goes to AI can be applied to any of those three themes, but mainly advisor efficiency. And so, are you using AI in capturing meeting notes and creating follow-up tasks? And so just start with like a little bitty project and build off of that. But I would say efficiency in time and then efficiency in tech spend is generally where conversations begin.
Absolutely. And you were touched on, I was going to ask you about AI. It seems to be a topic that comes up in every one of my interviews, especially in your field. And I know it's sort of the wild, wild west. It seems to be so new and expansive. And there's, I'm sure, good and bad aspects of that. Do you take the clients through that? And do you get a lot of questions about it?
Absolutely. And the first thing I think is important is education and understanding, especially because in financial services, we are rightly so a very regulated industry and understanding what's good and what's within the limits. And so I think using AI and back office procedures is kind of a good first step to get comfortable with it, to understand the nuances of your security, privacy policies that should be applied to that. It's not that you need to rewrite everything, it's just that your current security processes need to be applied to this new application. Yeah, absolutely.
Laura, is it basically when clients reach out to you? I see that you're such an entrepreneur yourself and hands-on involved. Is it basically yourself they deal with? Is there a team, a staff? How does that process go dealing with your company?
Yeah, so I am a solopreneur, but what I do is I partner with really great people. So on the provider side, I have a group of people that I vetted that I know well, I know their product well, and so I can match them to those people. So I would not be the person that helps them build an AI model. I wouldn't be the person that helps them create, a client experience type
Right.
thing, but I would match them to that person, help guide them through that process.
Sure. It's almost like the project manager bringing it all together while dealing directly with yourself.
Exactly. Matchmaker.
Yeah, absolutely. It suits the name very well, Laura. So tell me, what do you think? It might be that right there. What gives you a competitive advantage in your field? I know your history, as you touched on, it is outstanding. What do you think gives you a competitive advantage?
I think I call it my professional superpower. My professional superpower is that I have done a little bit of everything. I started as an advisor, I've coached advisors, I've been director of marketing, director of operations, business strategy, director of innovation. And so I know a little bit about all different pieces that are needed to create an excellent client experience and know how to bring that together. I'm a middle child. I think it all goes back to my childhood. And so I'm that person that listens to everything, understands what we need to get done, and pushes it forward.
Outstanding, Larry. I really like the way you put that for sure. So tell me, where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years? We touched on AI and how that's sort of encroaching into everything. How do you see things developing for your company there?
I it's interesting. So I'm actually in year three of my business, and everybody says it takes 3 years to start a business.
Sure.
Absolutely true. Like that first year, I was like, okay, I have this vague idea of what I want to do. And then just trying it, year two was, okay, I know what I need to do. And now let's get the business together. And now I'm kind of in the first quarter of my third year and really see it taking off. I see this great need as technology becomes more and more complicated, the need for advice firms, no matter the size, to have an unbiased party on their side. I have a great core group of partners that I work with, including to grow that. And really that focus that I'm seeing is those three trends. is increasing advisor efficiency, including voice of the customer and prospect into the planning experience, and then proactive planning, shifting from reactive to proactive.
That sounds right on point, Laura. And tell me sort of a two-part question. I know where you're based out of. Is it a certain region that you work, or in today's internet world, can clients be anywheres? And then also, how do you go about getting the word out about your company and acquiring new contacts outside of networking or doing what we're doing today?
Yeah, so I'm based in Dallas, Texas, and it's interesting, most of my clients are on the coast just because before I was at big firms and when I was at Goldman, my region was West Coast, and then I have lots of East Coast things from previous jobs. So I work with anyone in the United States and actually some Canadian clients now as well.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, Laura, it's been a great pleasure speaking with you today. I want to remind everyone we've been speaking with Laura Holt, who is the founder and CEO of WealthTech Matchmaker. Laura, where would our listeners go to find you, to get in touch with you if they needed have a need? How do they reach out to you?
Absolutely. So my website is wealthtechmatchmaker.com. My email is laura at wtmatchmaker.com. And on LinkedIn, I am Laura E. Holt, CFP.
Excellent. Laura, thank you for so much for joining the show today. I found it very enlightening speaking with you. I hope you'll join again sometime to give us a follow-up as to how things are going for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That sounds great. We'll be back with more stories right here on Radio Entrepreneurs.